All right, let's talk about starting a successful Mitumba or secondhand clothing business right from scratch. Now, this isn't just another side hustle guide. We're talking about a real blueprint for building an actual enterprise. If you've ever thought about turning thrifted clothes into a real, profitable business, then you're in the right place.
But first, let's start with this. This one sentence is so important. What is this stage that everybody seems to skip? Well, it's the crucial difference between a business that fails in a month and one that's built to last.
And that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to dig into the foundational work, the stuff that happens before you even buy a single piece of clothing that really separates the winners from everyone else. And it all begins right here with a mindset shift. You have to ask yourself, are you a hustler, just thinking about today's sale, grabbing whatever clothes you can find? Or are you a founder, someone who's building a system for the long term? That single choice changes absolutely everything.
So let's get into our very first principle. This isn't about just selling clothes. It's about building the machine, the system that sells the clothes for you, day in and day out.
And what you're really building is what's called a micro-retail system. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It just has three main parts. First, sourcing. That's finding those amazing, undervalued items. Second, adding value. That's making them look incredible. And third, distribution. Getting them into the hands of the right customers. If you can master these three, you've got a real business.
Okay, now for what is probably your biggest decision. You have to get this right before you spend a single shilling. This is that strategic choice where so many people go wrong right at the start.
Listen to me on this one. Do not try to sell everything to everybody. It is a recipe for failure. You have to pick a niche. Are you going to sell corporate wear to young professionals? Or maybe trendy vintage streetwear to creatives? Or maybe just focus on denim? You see, your niche determines who your customer is and what your whole strategy is going to be.
And once you have that niche, you need to get laser focused on your ideal buyer. I mean, picture them in your head. Is it a college student on a really tight budget? Or a young professional who needs to look sharp for the office but can't afford brand new? Knowing this is going to tell you exactly what to buy and how much you can sell it for.
So let's talk about money. You're probably thinking you need a ton of capital to get started, right? Well, what if I told you that you can start smart with as little as 1,000 shillings?
And here's exactly how that works. A whopping 80% of that goes straight into your inventory, your stock. The other 20% just covers your basics, like getting to the market and some cleaning supplies. See? It's focused. You're not stretched thin.
Okay, let's dive into what is, without a doubt, the most important skill you will master in this entire business, and that is sourcing. This is where you actually make your money.
So, how do you buy like a pro? It's simple, really. First, you've got to go early. That's when all the best stuff is out. And you need to train your eye to look for three things: great condition, brand names that people recognize, and styles that are actually trending right now. And just as important is what you avoid. Outdated stuff, damaged clothes, it's all about quality, not quantity. And I want you to remember this. Just burn this into your brain. Your profit is made the moment you buy the item for a good price, not just when you sell it. Every good deal you find is money in the bank before you've even made a sale.
Okay, so you've sourced some great items. Now we get to the transformation stage. This is where you take something you bought for cheap and make it feel premium.
And look, this stuff is incredibly simple, but it is so powerful. You wash the items, you iron them so they look crisp and new, you do minor repairs like fixing a button, and you present them beautifully. These tiny efforts make a huge difference in how much people are willing to pay. So let's just put some real numbers to this. Let's say you buy a pretty decent shirt at the market. You know, average price is going to be somewhere around 150 shillings. Right now, it's just a piece of raw Mitumba. But that value add process we just talked about, it creates a massive perception shift in your customer's mind. You are no longer selling secondhand clothes. Nope, you are now selling affordable fashion. It's a completely different product. And that perception shift is where your profit comes from. That exact same 150 shilling item can now fetch anywhere from 800 to 1,200 shillings. That is the power of adding value. And finally, we have to wrap all of this hard work into a real identity. I don't care how small you're starting, you have to act like a brand from day one. And here's a super simple checklist to get you going. Pick a memorable name that actually fits your niche. Go set up a free WhatsApp business account and a dedicated Instagram page. This is your new digital shopfront. It costs nothing, and it makes you look professional instantly. Now, when it comes to pricing your stuff, here's a golden rule to live by.
Whatever an item costs you, aim to sell it for at least 2 or 3 times that amount. Seriously, the biggest mistake people make is selling themselves short. Your price has to cover your costs, your time, and it has to give you money to grow.
So let's wrap this all up. The real foundation of a successful Mitumba business, it isn't a pile of clothes. It's a system for finding and improving them. It's a clear strategy for who you're selling to, and it's a brand that people start to know and trust.
So now you have the roadmap. The very first step is to stop thinking like a hustler and start acting like a founder. The only question left is, what's the name of the brand you're about to launch?